I'm not sure how I feel about an extremely goofy movie. For whatever reason, despite the fact I grew up as a big Disney fan and, continued being a Disney fan, I don't remember ever having seen this. I think largely that's because Goofy was never one of my favourite characters. He still isn't. I like him. But when it comes to the Mickey and Friends lot, Goofy's probably one of my least favourites. But I thought I'd give this a watch because it's on Disney Plus. Might as well. And I have to say that it's got a good message. It's got an interestingly well-developed narrative that I thought was fascinating enough to watch. But I think because it focuses mainly on Max Goof, not necessarily one for me. Plus the fact it's based on skateboarding, which I have no interest in. But that aside, there were some interesting bits. It was released in 2000, directed by Douglas McCarthy, with a screenplay by Scott Spencer Gordon. And the voice cast is brilliant. Bill Farmer is Goofy. Obviously, it wasn't ever going to be Pinto Colvig in 2000. But I feel like Bill Farmer does an amazing job of embodying the essence of Goofy that Pinto Colvig so fantastically gave us. I've got no issues there. Max Goof is Jason Marsden, and Jim Cummings, of course, voices Pete. We also have Brad Garrett as Tank. And to sum it up really, really briefly, Max is going off to college. Goofy's obviously very upset about that. His one and only son. Where's Max's mother? I've never questioned that. I don't know who Max's mother is. If you know that within the Disney universe, please let me know. But his only son going off to college. Max is excited. He's going to be taking place in the College X Games. Despite the fact I don't care about skateboarding, I'd actually heard of the X Games, where they're going to be competing in this skateboarding competition. And then it seems fine. It seems like he's flown the nest. But something happens to Goofy. That means he's going to be spending a lot more time with Max during the X Games competition than he perhaps would have expected. I'm not going to say any more than that. But it's an interesting narrative that pits father and son against one another. Goofy never really seeing it like that, though, and Max being your very typical eye-rolling teenager who doesn't want to be caught dead with his parent. I think the target audience of this, which was basically Disney Channel viewers at the time, of which I was definitely one. I was 8 years old, prime Disney Channel viewing age, definitely would appeal to them. Watching it as an adult, I obviously associate more with Goofy. I can kind of see where Goofy's coming from. The character of the librarian, who I'm not going to say anything about, I will let you discover her for yourself, but she was, I can't make up my mind if she was really interesting or really creepy. There was just something about her. I thought she was well developed, a great addition to the narrative, but she made me feel a bit unsettled. So because the narrative focuses on skateboarding and focuses heavily on Max rather than Goofy, it wasn't, in my eyes, perfection. But if you're a fan of Max Goof, you like things from his perspective, and if you like skateboarding or anything like that, then yeah, absolutely, I can see why it would appeal. Although it's 21 years old, it still feels relevant today. It doesn't feel dated. Bill Farmer, as I said, did a great voice of Goofy. I'm sure Pinto Colvig would be proud. Start to finish, I was pretty engaged, so even though I didn't end up loving it, it seemed to keep me entertained. Definitely worth checking out if you have Disney Plus.